let's talk about your backgrounds, because like on your video content, because like your backgrounds, like from mine, it was very different from the one you did the week prior and the one you did the week after. Like you have all these different background templates, which I love, because here at Ambiguous Podcast Solutions, we're gonna do the same thing. Like right now, you're seeing the yellow and the bubbles and the lava lamp. Like right now, that's it. That's the only one I got. But eventually, I'm gonna have a million of them. Like as many as I can have. But you say on yours, you use backgrounds as ad space.
Yes. So for my,
what a great idea! When you said that, I was like, "Fuck! I wish I came up with that."
Yeah. So what I started doing is people started watching the show and saying, "Wow, this is crazy stuff." So when you're watching the booth and you see this bar behind me, that's my buddy's bar, Frank Brack's Grill, and people see, they go, "Wow, that looks like a great place to go eat." Is that your house? No, that's my buddy's restaurant. Go down there, check them out. Now I got other people who have now hit me up and said, "Hey, can I pay ad space to get my background behind you as a place to be?" Or sometimes if I'm doing a theme show, I'll just put a background up. I know I've had the Simpsons background behind me one time. I've got a ton of stuff programmed in here that I can use. Hold on, I can actually change it on the fly right here while we're here.
Do you do it all yourself, or do you have a team of people who help you?
No, I do everything myself. So as you can see right here, a buddy of mine, Van Bates, he passed away. So we did a special memorial show for him. So I have that background there for me and him, for what we did. I do this one here when we talk comic books. I've got the Hall of Justice behind me for those who are fans of the Hall of Justice. And then I've got, let's see here. We've got the Simpsons that I just talked about that I can pull
classic,
up.
the couch. Yep.
And for this one here, if you guys remember this, I like doing this one. This is when I feel like I'm a gangster.
Scarface?
That's Scarface. That's Tony Montana's office.
Amazing.
And then if you guys haven't been down to Disney yet, that's the Disney Star Wars attraction. And, again, if you're going to do something like this for your show and have backgrounds, this is my friend's bar right there, Frank Brack's Bar and Grill and Tap.
Yeah.
Head on down there in Brockton. If you're in the Brockton area, that's his restaurant in the background. And then I like using this one here. This one here is a nice one. Gets a lot of people thinking, and then they wonder where it is. It's New Jack City, the Carter. That was the building that Nino Brown had took over.
That's literally what I was thinking. Like, where is that? Why does it look familiar? Yeah, New Jack City.
I don't just try to throw backgrounds in. I throw, for one Halloween, I utilize The Walking Dead for a background, but you got to be careful because if it's something like The Walking Dead, you can't broadcast it and get money off it. So you try to stay away from stuff like that. Try to create and come up with your own backgrounds. Like I created this background I created myself. I created this background myself. I created this background that shows my artist off by myself. And a lot of this stuff I can do, like you said, you just asked me, I can do it on the fly, through through OBS or XSplit Cam. And, I'm proud to be able to do the things that I do, of that sort, and
like when I see all these backgrounds, just like a lot of them look really, really good. A lot of them don't look good at all. But one thing I know is like, wow, these are all just still images. There's no motion graphics. I'm like, ooh.
And I can put motion graphics, but my feeling is when you use motion graphics, if it's not like a Christmas show,
it can't be too distracting. It can't be too distracting. Which is a big
feel like it takes away from the eye. I think it takes the focus away from what you want people to really watch. Like I have a lot of people, when you see them do podcasting and they put that music underlay through the entire podcast interview.
Yeah, no,
I've had people, I've had someone talk to me about it. I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. And they're like, why? I'm like, it takes away.
It's distracting.
Going in and out of breaks is nice, but when you're interviewing someone, there should be no music underlaying it. It's horrible. It's horrible. You don't see them do it on TV. You don't see them do it anywhere else. And I don't know where this came from. I think a lot of people that just started podcasting thought, let's throw some music underneath this interview and it's going to sound real good. No, it's distracting. Sometimes
different isn't necessarily a good thing. Like, oh, this is different. You don't see this before. Well, there's a reason for that. Right? Like that happens. Yeah. Like when I say like I want motion graphics, I guess I don't want it to be distracting. Like I said, like I had like a Starry Night sky or whatever. Every now and then get a little twinkle,
That's
You're
nice. Yep.
shooting
That's
star every minute,
that's subtle.
something like that.
That's
It's
subtle.
subtle.
That's
Needs to be
nice.
subtle.
Yep.
It's like it's a nice touch that makes you stand out. These looping bubbles are just every 30 seconds. It loops and it's slow and it resets and it's. I like it. Like there's other things I want to do, like say you have like a neon light, and every now and then one of them just flickers off, like something simple like that.
I had one Halloween. I had a haunted house, a motion haunted house for the background. It was just pretty much the same the whole time, but every now and then this ghost lady would pop up in the window in the background, and people were like, "Oh."
Yeah,
it was just enough. Yeah, it was just enough. And it was nice, and like again, people, you just got to be careful with what you use, make sure it's royalty free. And another little thing to tell people too is, like, when you're using music, it's nice, but be careful, because lots of times you can get a ton of music royalty free, but guess what happens, people, 4, 5, 6 years down the line, that royalty free music, that person who owns it may sell that music to someone else. Then all of a sudden, guess what happens?
Yeah.
It's no longer royalty free, and you're not protected from that. So people, even though your music might be royalty free, don't be surprised if 3 or 4 or 5 years later down the road, it's no longer royalty free because they sold the rights. I've actually, and I'm going to let people know right now, I actually reached out to someone who had some royalty free music, and I loved it so much, I bought that beat off that person for $60.
Now you own it.
So I own it now, and it's no longer royalty free.
It also helps, the person who makes the intro and the outro music for all my podcasts. Shout out to Christian from Montclair, New Jersey, in Cubic Recording Studios, a studio we are partnered with. Yeah, he made the beats, the music from scratch. If he samples something, make sure it's, he does his legal homework. But phenomenally talented. Shout out to him. He is incredible. If you need someone to make a beat for you, hit him up. Just go to ambiguouspodcastsolutions.com and we'll get in touch with them.